the mindset. It's not about the short-term stuff. You have to be looking at it from a long-term aspect. When you get your degree, when you're done with everything that you wanted to do at this university, where do you see yourself? How can they help you be where you need to be in life? Because after college, you got to be a man. Mm-hmm. What they gonna put into you to be the best man that you can be? It ain't about all the parties and stuff. You can always party. Mm-hmm. Be 40-year-olds in the club still. It be 40, 50-year-olds at the family homecoming. Like, all that's always gonna be there. So you can't get wrapped up into that type of stuff. You feel me?
Welcome world, welcome family to another episode of the EL2A podcast. I am your host, Jyron Gilmore Jr. To the right of me, you got Mr. Military Man, Mr. Miles McConaughey. To the right of him, you got the Rocket, Mr. Eddie Rocker. It is 2024, y'all. It's 2024. It's a blessed to be in 2024. It even sounds crazy just saying 2024. We're going to say it's the COVID year, so we're going to do it great. Mamba mentality all year. All right, and speaking of Mamba mentality, man, we got a special guest. I have to say, man, this is my favorite guest so far that we had on the EL2A podcast. We got Mr. Jyron Gilmore in the building, man. So, Jyron, thank you for being with us today.
I appreciate you for having me.
All right, sir. So, if y'all don't know, if you didn't get it by the name, Jyron Gilmore, this is me and Eddie's little brother. So, he gave me the privilege to be an older brother. So, I'm like his father in a sense, you get what I'm saying? So, it's been pretty cool. But, so, I know we got a lot to get into. You've been a student athlete and the experiences that you had, we're going to take a deep dive into. And being a student athlete, that comes with a lot, because most young people grow up with the aspiration of being a student athlete. Yeah. They always say from a young age, I'm going to play college football and then I'm going to the NFL. I'm pretty sure at a young age that was you wanted to do that as well, and you're able to achieve that. So I want you to start off by telling our viewers, who is Jyron Gilmore?
Me? So, I'm somebody who worked hard all my life to get to where I'm at now. Like, I know y'all can recall times just me going out in the backyard by myself, just working to what I want to be before school, like waking up 6 a.m. to go work out, lift weights, stuff like that, just always putting in extra work. And then outside of ball, man, I'm just a real chill, respectful dude, laid back, don't do too much, man. I'm just really focused on my success, really, at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. So getting to this point, when you going back to your childhood, all right, because I remember a time with Jyron with the big helmet, and you know what I mean, like you said, skinny body, big helmet, but you did it. One thing that always came across, and you always was like ahead of the game. You know what I mean? You always like 2 steps ahead of the people that were your age. What do you think gave you that extra, grit or extra knowledge or whatever you had to be always wiser than people your age? Where do you think that comes from?
Shoot, you said 2 steps. I got 2 big brothers. So how I look at it is like watching y'all as I'm growing up, it's just y'all experiencing everything that I want to do, really. So it's like from what I want to do, I've seen y'all do it already. It's like I kind of lived it. The experiences that y'all did, the downfalls that y'all might have had, it's lessons that I already learned without having to actually go through them myself. So I was already prepared for certain situations.
When you were young, at a young age, playing football, obviously everybody think they're good. Everybody think they're going to the league. And pretty sure you got some homeboys that went in that same boat, like we're going to the league, but they probably aren't made it as far as you have to this point. Like, so what separated you apart from your crowd, from the people? You know what I mean? Or even so, and what made you know you were that dude? Or when did you know, okay, I'm going to college?
I knew I was going to college my junior year of high school. My sophomore year is my first year on varsity. I was still fresh to it. I had potential. I was making plays and stuff. But that off season, I kind of really locked in. That's when I started to mature. I started to grow up, get bigger and stronger to fit in. And that's when I started to dominate a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And saying mature. So that's a good word. So as you say, mature. So a big part of what we do is working with you. And we see a lot of negative stuff that's going on. I guess when it comes to youth, young man making the wrong decisions and heading in the wrong path. So for yourself, what kept you away from that? What kept you away from making wrong decisions? What kept you away from going down the wrong path?
Really, like I said, looking up to y'all. I always just had people over, I guess I could say shadowing me, watching me, like my parents. Some parties I couldn't go to, I couldn't understand. Like, why I can't go be with my boys? I want to go be out tonight. I'm in my room mad. I'm heated. Yeah. I can't go out. Like, what's up with that? Calls. Calling him. I'm hot, bro. They won't let you go out tonight. What's up with that? So little stuff like that. I mean, my parents would never let me stray away too far, and I always thank them for that.
Yeah. And so it's hard to part. I'm pretty. We all had to deal with that. We all come from a background. Obviously, we had the same parents, but other brother moms as well. So what in that age? So when you were in that moment, what did you think you were missing? So what were you missing out on in those moments?
I'm missing out being with the boys. I'm thinking about how when I go to school, they finna have all these stories to tell, all these jokes to laugh at during lunch. I don't got nothing. I'm just outside looking in like, yeah. I'm missing out on the girls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing out just really the weekend, grind it all week. Now I got to sit in the house by myself on the weekend.
Yeah. So you said that you feel like you were missing out on, being around with your boys, missing out on the fun. And it's funny because, again, you say you look up, you had two brothers, Jamie and myself, to where, we experienced some of those same things, like Jamie just said. Whereas, we felt the same way. We can't, y'all ain't letting us go. Pops is really the one that really kept us from. Bro, Pops used to get on my nerves, bro. I remember one day I was like, man, y'all tripping. Why did I say that? And Pops dug into me that day. But even with that though, now that I have kids, I shared that in our group chat where there were certain things that they were teaching us or keeping us away from.
Yeah.
So you think about the family, some of our family members that we grew up with, that we're real close with, and then as we got older in age at high school, so teenagers, they started going in a whole nother direction than we were. So even down to our friends, there are a lot of friends that play ball with us in high school that, like Jamie said at the beginning of the episode, that they didn't make it to the level that you made it. So as I got older and I have kids now, some of those same lessons in life that they taught us, or some of the people that they were trying to keep us away from, or things that they were trying to keep us away from doing, I see that now with my own kids.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, even though you felt like you missed out on that, I know you feel, because I know we all feel the same way. But speaking for myself, I know it feels as though that was one of the best things that happened to me in order to keep me on the right path to succeed. So do you feel that same way?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like now when I'm looking back at the relationships that I have now, the friends that I have now. When I got to college, I just realized like everybody's so different. It all comes from how they grew up, if that makes sense. I'm looking at, okay, I'm structured. I got a curfew at this time. Like when I was in high school, there's a lot of people like out at 1, 2 in the morning, and I got to be in the house at 10:30, 11. It ain't make sense to me. What? Like, feel me? I'm 16, I'm 17. I got my own wheels. I can't go out. Like, what's up with that? But now when I look at it, it's like that structure is what made me who I am now. Because when I branched off and went to college, it was that same structure that was from the household that I was in. It carried over into me being a man who I am today.
Yeah.
Like when I look at people who go out now or hanging out now, they really don't know how to act and stuff. But I always had that, I guess you could say that support system. So I knew how to carry myself in certain situations. I had older brothers to look at, so certain stuff didn't excite me how it would excite other people.
Yeah.
No.
It's crazy because so like you referred it back to us, having two older brothers that, shows you whether it was good or bad.
Yeah.
A mentor. That's what we do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So and then not only having your brothers, we had our dad and I lived.
Yeah, exactly.
So and I always try to bring that back full circle where the man, young men have to be led by a strong man. We had that in our household.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Pops was there. But then not only did you have it from Pops, but you had it. You had a double. So you had a triple time. You had it from Pops, big brother, then his next big brother. So now you got all the guidance. And I feel like the community in itself, society, United States, around America, bro, if young men don't have proper guidance, it'll be hard to end up in a situation that you in.
Yeah, definitely.
And one thing we really don't notice at that young age is that two things. One thing is that we're being selfish. The way we're being selfish, because it's some other kids out there that wish they had somebody to hold them accountable, that wish they had somebody to say, you better be in here, because they don't have anybody. That's why they out there, because they don't have a person that really care about them enough to give them that structure. And the second thing is that our parents have lived this before.
Yeah.
So they've seen this many, many times play over before. So they're trying to save us from that. But we so stuck up in our own way that we thinking that they hindering us from something where they just saving us.
Yeah.
They seen little Johnny get shot up from being at the party where he wasn't supposed to be at.
Yeah.
They seen Daryl getting, get in the car with the wrong people, and now his life over with. They seen these things play over and over again. And they also had their own hiccups.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So they try to make sure that we don't do it, but we so stuck up in our own, our own situation that we think that they being in our way or they being hard on us when they really just trying to save us from life, bro. Because ain't nothing new under the sun.
Exactly.
That saying is so true. Because again, you at the age you are right now, the same thing that was going on when you were a teenager is the same thing that's going on now. Kids getting in trouble with guns, doing fights and all this other stuff. The same stuff was going on with your kids. We used to go out to different parties, guns. We got to run the cars and duck under because people out there shooting. It's the same stuff going on. They just try to save us from that. Yeah. So, but the structure piece. So, me personally, I'm big on structure and discipline, and I know that comes from our household. And you say that they use the same structure and discipline I know that you got. So, how did that help you move into college? What? Don't answer that question, right? Because before we get to college, I want to finish out on high school. All right. So, high school, you're a high school stud. All right, so when you were going to high school, was there one particular school that you thought that you wanted to go to when in high school?
Never.
Nah.
North Marion, all day.
No. The college.
Oh, college.
College, yes.
I always wanted to go to Miami.
Miami? Why Miami?
The U. Just when I was growing up, that was the first team that really caught my eyes. I remember when I caught my first pick in Little League, I threw up the U.
Ready, I'm throwing up the U.
I'm turt, you feel me? So they just always had that swag. I remember watching y'all. Coach Williams, he was always the unit. Like, that's just something I always looked up to.
Yeah, I love it. So, being in college, being in high school as you start traveling. So, and that's so for myself, my personal experience. So, obviously, you always say, and we got kids now, they don't even play sports, but they say they're going to the league or go out and play college. It's just something we say, because I guess we don't know what else to say. I don't know. But anywho, so for myself, when I got to 10th grade, I got my first offer. So, to me, that's when it's being real. Okay, I'm about to make this happen. Then we start going on the road. Yeah. And with Coach Collins and Coach Williams, we start traveling a lot. We start going to different camps in this camp world. And you're able to see, okay, I'm just as good as everybody around this thing. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I'm him too. When you started, so I know you did the camping thing. What kind of experience did you get from going around into camps and being in that camp market? Because that's a big thing right now. The 7-on-7 is a big market right now. So for young athletes right now, when they go into these 7-on-7 camps, that's something they look forward into. What was one of your biggest takeaway from being part of those markets?
In the aspect of going to camps, I really didn't go to camps that much. I probably went to like 4 or 5 camps, but it was 2 camps that I really turned up at. It was a USF camp, and I played corner there. And I was just the guy like, they want to see the last rep with him and another dude. So I had that feeling of just like, I'm just as good as all these other cats. I really can dominate at this level. Like, ain't nobody really messing with me. I had that feeling. I went to a camp in West Florida. I was that dude too. Like, we need to see him do this rep. We want to see him go against the best cornerback. So that feeling of me being the best person in that situation, coming back to high school where I was at, was like, these dudes can't mess with me. Mm-hmm. And 7-on-7, I always was dominating 7-on-7. Like, both sides of the ball. I'm going to catch a pick. Some games go 3 touchdowns. Like, at the end of the day, I got more touchdowns than my homeboys, stuff like that. So,
how did it help you though? So being part of those, how do you think going on 7-7 and 2 camps, how did that help?
Just being able to have an aspect of, it's not just Marion County. You're not just trying to be the best dude at your high school. You're trying to be the best dude in the country. That's something that my pops always told me, like, it's not about being the best dude at the school. You're supposed to be the best. That's something that you're supposed to do. But when it comes to you looking at yourself against these 5 stars, these 4 stars, that's the level you're trying to be on. So that's the mindset that it gave me.
I think about what you're saying, and I get what you're asking at the same time, which you gave a good response. But I think I only went to 1 camp, and that was the Friday Night Lights, and Pops took a picture. I know y'all seen it. My dad got a picture with Trent Richardson behind me. Didn't know who he was then, but that was my first time going to a camp. And at that point, I was never exposed to the camp. Yeah. And not being exposed to those camps, not going to them, that put me in the on the back burner. So I wasn't exposed to the recruiters and to different teams so I can show my talent. Yeah. And not being exposed at a young age to those camps, not for nothing, it kind of held me back, so to speak. My talent, my talent helped me get to the next level. But had I gone to those camps to see those 4 and 5 star athletes, because when you go to those camps, you actually see that, like you say, I'm better than this kid. You know what I'm saying? He may be bigger, he may be faster, but overall I'm better. So going to those camps, it help you see from it gives you a different perspective so that you know what you up against, what you have to really compete for. And it's not what's right in front of you, but it's like what's ahead of you. How how can I get better? How can I be better than these other people outside of my everyday environment?
And so we come from a strong household, and I know a lot of our motivation comes from that, you know, the family that we come from to push us to go along the way. And we also had the likes of people that came across like Coach Collins. We just had a podcast, the last one I think we did. We spoke about Coach Collins, and the one with Sean. He spoke about Coach Collins. So I also always want to highlight Coach Collins because, again, what he did for me personally and what he did for us, I know, like, I can never thank him enough, and I always want to keep his name alive. So I can't have this podcast with you and not, you know, ask you about Coach Collins and what did Coach Collins mean to you?
Man, Coach Collins, when I look back at my high school career, for me to be who I was in North Marion, that came from Coach Collins. So for me, I felt like it was always Coach Collins knew I was the baby. He had Eddie, he had you, but then he knew a couple years later, I'm coming. So it was always something that we was waiting for. And when that moment came, it hit fast. Like, soon as I get to high school, the morning workout starting, like that blue truck is out every Monday and Wednesday. That blue truck out there, bro. It used to be so funny because I know someday I'll stay up too late on the game or something. Man, that truck coming. It might be some nights he don't text you the whole day. You might not hear from 2 days straight the whole weekend. Where you at? I'm outside. Like, you outside. But that's where that structure come from. Like, he was the one, like, okay, so in life, I got the structure from y'all. I got the structure from Ma. I got the structure from Dap. But athletically, Coach Collins all day, man.
Yeah.
I never seen nobody invest more into me and other kids more than Coach Collins.
Yeah, it was a blessing. And, you know, as we talk about this podcast, you know, for you all that know Coach Daryl Collins, Daryl Punky Collins, you know, he was a coach here at North Marion High School for years. He went to Westport for some years as well, man. But what he poured into the youth and what he poured into us, man, it can never go unnoticed. You know what I mean? The things that he's done for us, that man deserves a Nobel Peace Prize award or something for the things that he's done in this community. So definitely rest in peace to Coach Collins. All right, so and back to you. So you talking about the motivation from us, from the parents, from all that. Where did your personal motivation come from? What motivates, you know, young Jyron Gilmore?
Coming up, it was just always, to be real, I want to be better than my brothers. When y'all was at North Man, y'all was the hot topic. When I was growing up, it was just always, you ain't gonna be better than your brother. Man, you crazy. What you talking about? I ain't gonna be better than my brother. I'm finna work and I'm finna show y'all. So that was just, and I wanted to be like y'all too. Man, I used to be at the games, you scoring a touchdown, you scoring a touchdown. I'm in the bleachers running back and forth with y'all like, yeah, let's get it, you feel me? So that's what the motivation came from when I was in high school. And now you got 3 kids, you feel me? Mm-hmm. Everybody know Uncle Jyron in school, he barely home. He be in school. Mm-hmm. My parents looking at me like, I just feel like I can't fail. Something that I cannot do. It's not an option.
That's real. And a lot of people don't have that, bro. And that's why so much, you know, we're so close. And it kind of, you know, I always crave, I wish, you know, our young boys can feel that sense of brotherhood. I'm pretty sure you and your brother got that same connection. But you need brotherhood. And one thing we always talk about relationships and how relationships are so important to who you are as a human being. And we gotta, you know, it's important to attach yourself to do life with other people. Yeah. You for yourself. So even just to even hear from you, because I know we brothers and we can talk all day, but for yourself. So when you and your brother, how are y'all, because y'all got a tight relationship, right? You and your brother,
and my younger one too.
Younger brother too. So how did y'all relationship mesh? Is it just a sense of just because y'all brothers, or is there certain qualities? So we met, obviously we love sports, we sports family, so we, you know, we collab off that. How was y'all relationship like, you and your brothers?
I can relate to a lot of what Jyron's saying about having an older brother that you look up to, and then learning from him, you know, so different things. My older brother, our personalities are night and day. Mm-hmm. So like Scott is very reserved, even more so than me, but he never had he wanted to go out and do, you know, go out to a party or do that type of stuff. He would find being a homebody. I went through a phase where I wanted to go party, hang with friends, but you know, we grew up out in the sticks, so it wasn't too many options for you to go. So I think like for us, we had to learn that despite our differences, you know, to really find that mesh, because growing up it was just us out there. Mm-hmm. And so I think that helped our relationship. I mean, even to this day, I mean, we neighbors now, so. Mm-hmm. I mean, I get to hang with my older brother all the time. So he always been a big inspiration seeing his leadership. He was at ROTC. So he was like, I can't remember what position he had made, but he used to win all type of awards in the military with ROTC. I was a rebel. So like in high school, I was a child. I always had my parents stressed out. So it's just funny how when I got older, I was the one that went to the military. He did, but even still, just seeing him with a little uniform on and stuff like that, I was like, all right, you know, I wouldn't do it, but it's cool. But then I grew up doing it, so it's just I you know, doing. Then for my little brother, he was the one that was definitely into football a lot more. But outside of athletics, where it comes like personality, just kind of mentality on stuff, that's where he and I kind of meshed, because then I got to be that older brother, you know, like you said, for yourself. So I had Malik coming up behind me. Pretty much every chance I got, I always went to go get my little brother. Our parents had split, but even within that, like I still understood like this is, you know, my brother, he's my half brother, but that's blood. So we always had a strong relationship ever since he was little, even up till now. So it's just funny seeing him getting older in college now, playing ball as well, and just kind of seeing how our personalities are so much in alignment now. And then just hearing him talk about, you know, the future past sports. You know, once he got hanging the cleats up, you know, what's next? And he's just like, you know, every school I talk to about transferring to, first thing I ask him, you know, what can the university do for me outside of ball? Like, how can it help me establish for my future business? Or so like his mentality is always about pushing ahead. That's one thing, you know, I'm proud of him about. Even with you being mature for your age, you know, that's big, because you got a lot of people that get caught up in the here and now and not looking forward. Exactly. So it's a testament to, just like you said, brotherhood. You know, everyone reach one, teach one, as they say. So,
and I love that. Was one of my biggest things. So I had the privilege to be a middle brother. So you got a big brother and you got a little brother. So you get the best of both worlds. And well, you a middle brother too. So I mean, being able to, for real, seek have guidance, but also give guidance. Like, it helps you mature a lot faster. Because I was, like he said, I was able to look at him. You know, I always wanted to be like him until I felt I was better than him. You know what I mean? I always wanted to chase it. The numbers he picked, I used to pick them numbers and all those different things, until I got to a point to where I was like, okay, I'm better than him now. I'm that dude. So that is very important. But just even establishing what you said, going to college. So I kind of want to move on to this college. And I want to use this time, man, to really help the young person that be maybe watching this. As far as the young person that's striving to be a college athlete, we're gonna kind of get into that the process of what it took to get to where you are today, and what keeps you going. So let's take a journey to high school. High school, you come out of high school, how many offers? We're gonna talk about like how many offers, what went into you going, because your first step with Tennessee Tech, went into you making a decision to go to Tennessee Tech.
So when I was getting recruited, I didn't get my first offer till my senior year of spring. It started with Troy, then a few weeks later it was Mercer, then it was West Florida, and I didn't get an offer from Tennessee Tech until that summer at a summer camp. What led me to go there was the first two offers that I had, they were just verbals. Like, coaches stopped talking to me. It kind of threw me for a loop, because like, you calling me, telling me you want me. Now when I hit you up, I can't even get a response back. So then it narrowed down to West Florida. I really wanted to go to West Florida and be a slot receiver, but the coach that was recruiting me, he got fired. So now it's nobody to talk to, and now I'm just left hanging. I don't got no offer. So I really got to go to this camp, and I got to show out. And when I was playing corner, the corners coach from Tennessee Tech was there, and they offered me on the spot. And throughout that whole transition of me, I think I committed around October. He was just consistently talking to me, and it just felt genuine. That's what made me commit.
Yeah. And that's the part people don't know. So again, you see, so my experience, I had, you know, a good bit of offers when I was coming out, but most people don't know that story. So how up and down this game can be. Like, you have people calling you, grown people that you expect a lot from, that will call a young man that's 17 years old and promise him something, say something to him, and not hold that standard. Yeah. So how, in that moment, how did that make you feel? Like, when you were dealing with that uncertainty, how did that feel during that time?
Shoot, man, I felt let down, because I'm seeing everybody else get these offers. Like, my homeboys getting these big offers. Like, dang, what I'm gonna do? I'm D1, D2. I know I'm better than a lot of people, but why it's not hitting for me? So like you say, it's a lot of uncertainty. It's a lot of waking up not knowing what's gonna go on the next day. Is you really gonna blow how you supposed to? Or is you gonna go to a smaller college? And at that time, don't nobody want to go to a smaller college. Who want
Get that guy?
I got to Tennessee Tech. Who really want to go FCS, bro?
Yeah.
All these dudes from the city that's going to these Power 5 schools, like that's what you want to do. You think for you to be successful, that's the step that you got to take. If you go to this FCS school, it's nothing good gonna come out of it. So that's kind of the mindset that I had.
Yeah. I had so it's funny because you talk about I didn't even know that. I mean, we talked about it, but I don't like in how you just explained it. Yeah. But it was funny because, like you say, the ups and downs. So we were good athletes in high school. We had different colleges recruit us. I'll never forget the Boston College recruiter. He was coming through Florida and it just called. I remember Coach Collins was like, "Man, the guy turned around for you." So at practice that day, the long story short, they had interest in me. My grades, I was taking honors classes, so the half credits, it didn't show up on the transcript. Again, I was getting recruited by them, so for me, Boston College is a big school at this point. So I'm like, bet that's where I'm going to go. They asked for my transcripts, and when they pulled the transcript, it didn't show my half credits. It didn't show the half credits that I got in from my honors classes. Mm-hmm. Immediately went missing. That's why. So it was Temple. I had different colleges, but Boston College was the one I'm like, bet this is the one I'm going to go to.
Yeah.
And the moment that he went missing, bro, I didn't know what I was going to do at that point. Mm-hmm. So and to hear your stories is like, man, it's crazy because students really, kids really don't know that. Yeah. They don't know the process of it, and then but for you to be able to, I guess, still show resilience and what you still trying to get to the next level. You went to the next camp. You went to that camp and you showed that you can be somebody, and you got your scholarship. But I think about the kids that don't understand that process. Think about the kids that don't have a dad in a home, that don't have the structure, or they don't have a mentor in their life as they're going through that process of being recruited from high school to college, and then they get pulled out on from a school, and then it's like, now what? They kind of give up on themselves because they don't have that guidance. So for you, I guess, what would you say that I guess kept you motivated?
Like I said, go back to that structure. Around that time, all I knew was work out. I'm going to go to college. I don't know where I'm going yet, though. So from that spring, I'm going to take it to after that actual football season. We hit COVID. Like, got a whole bunch of free time. What you going to do? You going to play the game all day? You feel me? Sit on your behind all day. For me, it was like, nah, every day I'm waking up to make myself work out. Like, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I might not even eat, but I'm going to go work out. And like I said, that's just from looking at y'all. I look up to him. Like, that's all I saw him doing. So that's all I knew for myself.
Yeah.
Which it's funny. So we're going to get into the Tennessee Tech thing. So you just stated, so you literally had schools talking to you and they all backed out. Tennessee Tech come along. You go to the academy and prove yourself. Now you get this offer. It's D1, but it's FCS. You just spoke about it. You wanted to go FBS. That's where everybody's going. That's where they're big dogs. And you know that you have the ability to play at that level. So as you're heading into Tennessee Tech, you're going to Tennessee Tech, you're packing a car, you're driving up Tennessee Tech. What's on your mind? How you feeling during that time?
I had the mindset that I was going to Tennessee Tech to take over. Like, it was nothing less than that. I knew that I wanted to be a freshman All-American. Like, that's all we talked about, bro. Freshman All-American, all conference. So when I went there, I'm like, I'm going to take somebody's spot. And I really didn't go there to have friends like everybody in my position group. And it's crazy, my boy Cam Hudson, I did not really go into it liking Cam like that. And it wasn't nothing against him. It was just, I knew he was the guy and that's what I wanted to be. Mm-hmm. But when I got there, me and him actually had a great relationship. He was the one giving me game, like, nah, bro, you the one, like, you doing stuff that I wasn't doing. Mm-hmm. And that's how we ended up getting cool.
Yeah. And as you're going on there, so what was like a shock? So you may have some college hopefuls that hope they're going to college. What was the biggest thing from the transition of being a high school student athlete to being a college student athlete? What are some of the biggest adjustments you had to make?
Really, I would say that eating situation. Like, college is just gonna be so fun. It's gonna be great. You're gonna have a great time. But at the end of the day, man, you on your own.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, it's 1 a.m. What I'm gonna eat? I done ate all my chips. I got 2 fruits that love. They let me go down the hall. Hey, bro, you got some cup noodles, bro. I need it, bro. Yeah. stuff like that. And then for me, when I went to Tennessee Tech, bro, they really didn't have a lot of parties. I just could have scored college was gonna be the littest thing. Like, that's all the old heads in the city tell me, boy, when you go to college, they're gonna love you up there. And it really wasn't that for me. It was like a culture shock. I'm like, I go to a technical school. These sports is not what I expected it to be. And it's kind of like, it's kind of weird a little bit. You feel me?
If you had to put one word to sum up Tennessee Tech, what word would you put to it and why?
Grounded.
Grounded. Why you say that?
Grounded, because it's not much to do at Tennessee Tech. It's a small school. You got Knoxville, an hour and 40 minutes away, Nashville, an hour and 15 minutes away. So if you want to go have fun, you got to really hit the road. But in Cookeville, it's not much going on. So on the weekends, instead of going out, you might not have nothing to do but play the game or hit the boys up like, you want to go work out, or you might be forced to be in the room so long. I done played the game all day. Let me do this homework. Like, it's not many options. So it just kept you focused on what you need to do.
Yeah. And so obviously I know your experience. The people that's viewing, they don't know your experience at Tennessee Tech. So you just stated how you went in, you wanted to be a freshman All-American. You had high hopes of your athletic career. So you had some hiccups during that time. Things didn't go the way you dealt with some injuries.
Exactly.
So the first thing that happened was when you broke your finger. When you broke your finger. So during those, because I know what it's like to be a student athlete and get hurt. It's like, because your dreams is like to get shattered right in front of you, because everything you dream for every moment you work so hard for, injury takes that away from you. So during those times, like, get into the real side of the real feelings and how you felt in those moments. Like, what is going through your mind? How are you feeling during these times?
And with the injury, or just that season after my freshman year, because that's what I really want to hit on. So going into, it still was my freshman year, but it was after the first COVID season. So that COVID season, I was an all conference guy. So going into the next season, I didn't even start the first game. We had there was a quiz, and there were some questions I didn't get right. And it was stuff that I was saying, but I wasn't saying it the right way. So I felt, personally, it was like politics into it. Like, dang, coach, you really don't want me to start. That's how I felt about the situation. But the next two games, I end up starting. And the third game, we played Tennessee. I messed around and get hurt on a kickoff return. And then after the game, I found out I break my hand, and I don't play till like 5 games later, and I'm playing in the cast. And what tricked me up about that is I wanted to medical redshirt, but people don't know, if you're hurt and then you play a game, you can't medically redshirt. So I felt played by my coaches, because why would you make me play this game and you know I want a redshirt? That's not best for me. Why you want me to go out and play with a cast on my hand? That, I mean, the production really can't be there. How I'm gonna catch a pick? I got a big cast on my head, it's covering everything. Like, how I'm gonna make plays on the ball? And my thing was, I was telling coach, like, coach, if I go back, me personally, I know I'm good enough to start. It's like, it's not gonna work like that. So I was kind of like, hey, it's gonna be this, or I'm gonna sit out. And it ended up working out good for me. But in the midst of that, I felt like, I remember the day after that game, we had workouts, and I had to leave out the room to work out, bro. I went to the bathroom, I started crying. I'm like, bro, they done played me, dog. Like, I can't rest. I done wasted a year off of one game. So, like you say, it's a bunch of ups and downs with it. So, ups and downs.
Yeah, in that moment, because I don't even know if I heard that story. The moment with you crying. So just to read what you're saying. So you're saying you broke your hand, you got a cast, and you played a game after you put the cast on, but you didn't know when you played that game you want to be able to redshirt.
Exactly.
Okay. So you felt betrayed by your coaches.
Yeah, because I felt like in that moment, okay, I might put my career on the line. Like, this a year. Oh, you're going to get 4 years of eligibility. This a year I'm putting on the line just to play one game. So now when I play this game, I can't start, or I don't play as much as I want to. Like, you was at that game, bro. I only played like a total of 4 drives, and you can play 1 snap. That's going to count towards your eligibility. So I was like, dang, coach, you really don't have my personal interest. You recruited me. You came to my house. You was the same person on the phone with me every day. Like, I thought you had my best interest at heart. That's when I learned the business aspect of college football.
Yeah. That was, it's crazy, because I didn't understand that. So with me being the oldest, I didn't have anybody to guide me in that way. And apparently I didn't shed light on you guys with through my experiences. But the not having the right mentors, or not having the right information for the college students, to when they go into these sports, to have the proper mentality. And that's basically where I'm going with it. If you go to school, if you go off to college thinking that it's a free for all, or you know nothing's gonna happen, like, you sadly mistaken. Anything can happen. Your story, my story. We have different stories that still encompass the same experience.
Yeah.
And for me, it took for me to have going into my junior year for me to have to know I had my first child, Naya, on the way.
Yeah.
When I knew Naya was being born, that's when my mentality flipped. Where it's like, okay, this is a business. I went to school thinking it was just all play, never taking it serious, not knowing, for my grades, not gonna say I didn't care, but I paid more attention to the girls than I did my grades. So after I found out she was that Naya was on the way, my mentality switched. So now I got to focus more on school, and I have to treat the school as a business. I gotta put, because neither one of the coaches, I'm not gonna say they didn't have my best interests at heart, but what I cared about, they didn't care about.
Yeah.
They only cared about winning.
Yeah.
They didn't care about my future. And I guess in that moment, like you say, I mean, that was the time for you to, when you went into when you cried or whatever, that's what happens. Sometimes that's what we need. We need that reality, that moment to hit for us to realize, like, all right, this stuff real. Let me get my life together. This is real. So now going forward, you make the right decisions based off that experience that you have.
And I'm gonna even keep it a buck. So in these situations that we're talking about, they hurt so much because you've built up a long history of being the guy. From youth football to high school football, all you know is playing. So when you go into a situation where you can't play or you on the bench, like on a bench, bro. Like it's a lot to go in. And then being a young person, now being an adult and looking back, there's so much that go into it. You're thinking about the social aspect of it, what your friends thinking about. You ain't got no pictures to post on the gram after the thing. In the games, the girls, they can't see you on the field. Like there's a lot that goes into a social, like and it puts you in a state of depression.
Then don't
go ahead.
Yeah. Don't even forget about, all right, my parents done drove 10 hours to this.
Yeah.
Before they could see us the back of my jersey still on the side. Like,
yeah.
Feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not getting on the field, and then you got to see them at the end of the game. It kind of feel like a letdown, bro.
Yeah. And I remember stay there. I remember so many times that mom and them come to your game a lot more than they came to my games. I was in Philly, and it's just things was different at that time. I remember having that phone call. Like every time I get on the bus, I got to call my daddy. Don't call me. I got to call my daddy, and he like, well, how I went, or what's, how, or because he don't watch it probably. Sometimes he may not have watched it, but how I went, and you got to say on I only got 3 plays. Bro, that hurts, bro. That hurts because now you feel like you already let yourself down. Now I'm letting my people down, bro. That plays on your conscience. Yeah. And again, in those moments, bro, and there's so many people that crumble because there's some athletes that don't come back from that, bro. Like they go home, but they act out, they do something stupid that they don't come back from. But in those moments, bro, I was dealing with a state of depression. I didn't know it till I got out of the situation to be able to look back and say, oh yeah, you were depressed. Because I couldn't even talk about it. You know what I mean? It was something that was hurting so bad that I couldn't have a conversation about it because it's like, I don't understand. I know I'm good.
Yeah.
Why aren't you playing me? Yeah. I know I can play. You know I'm one of the best players. Why am I going on the field? And then we talk about the political aspect of it. It's a political game, bro. It's all about college athletics, about that money. So you get into the situation where, okay, my coach is from New Jersey. He recruited a player from New Jersey. And is you and that New Jersey player, he trying to get his people on. Yeah. It was till, I'm telling you, I had to get grown and look back at this stuff. It's to a point, we speak about a mentality called the do for self mentality. It is when it basically communicates, when do you hold yourself accountable? Because in these situations, we can say all we want. In the situation you just said, you can say, well, the coach didn't let me know that if I played a game and didn't know this, then it's his fault. But then you look back, the do for self mentality allows you to see, why didn't I know that? If I'm in the game, I got to know everything about this game.
Yeah.
You're a kid at the point. I get that. Because I used to look at this as this is a grown man that came and sat on my mama's couch. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You came from me. So you owe us some level of responsibility to us to tell me and educate me. But that, you can't get nowhere with that. The only way you get somewhere if you hold yourself accountable. And that's one of the biggest things. But when I say I was dealing with depression, that was a real thing. Through your high school, because I kind of want to get to the mental health talk about it. Like, the moments or the downfalls that you were going through over at Tennessee Tech, do you feel that you maybe in a state of depression or what was going through your mind in that state?
Definitely momentarily. More so when I hurt my knee. That was my red shirt. That was my red shirt freshman year. I hit a stretch probably towards the back end of the season. Played 5 solid games. Like, I'm trying to go all conference. My PBU's getting up. I didn't get a pick that year, but my PBU's going up. I'm still doing a little bit of punt return, so I'm trying to make the all conference list. I had a good game against Eastern Illinois. The next practice, I sprained my MCL. So now it's like everything that I was working towards is gone now. Like, I got to call my pops. You feel me? That's the first thing I do. I call my pops. Like,
Call them pops.
my knee messed up. He at work. What you mean? Oh, man, like, it just, everything hit you at once. It's like all the goals that you have set out, they gone now. And for a moment, it's like I couldn't even walk around. I had a big old cast on my leg. I couldn't even drive myself around. Usually, you know, when you get hurt at the crib, your mama can help you out in the shower. I'm having to do all that by myself. So that was really me growing up in those moments.
And I'm about to say it, and it's crazy, bro. Sean sat in the same chair and he talked about Coach Collins and Coach TK, how they were there, Coach Kenyon, how they were there in the moments that you were dealing with, whatever. I think that's one thing that he learned from us, or he's seen from us, where those moments that you were dealing with, like your knee situation, you were able to call Pop. You was able to let him know what was going on. But that's something that I always talk about. So anytime that I dealt with something, I always dealt with it by myself. I didn't feel it, and Pops was there. Yeah. But I didn't feel comfortable with calling him, because I didn't, to Jamie's point, to her point, it was, I let him down. I let the family down. You feel me? So it's one of those things where for me then, and so what I'm saying now, I want the students, the athletes that's hearing this to understand that you got to be able to have somebody that you can confide in. Yeah. Not to be afraid to really share how you feel. Yeah. Because at those moments, I remember there were times when this man funny. I already think about it, but there was a moment in my life where even after football, I was dealing with something in life that I didn't even want to share with Mom. I didn't want to share with Pops, and I was trying to deal with that internally. Yeah, that was a point in life where I was depressed as well. Thankfully, the final call that I got from Mom was, all right, if you don't pick up this phone, if you don't talk to me, I'm gonna come over there. Yeah. I didn't want her to come over there where I was at, so I had to call her. Yeah. But I had family reaching out, that support system, that structure. Yeah. I had people that were holding me accountable and wanted me to do the right things. But for the young men and for the people that do not have somebody, find that person. I don't care who it is, a friend, a brother, a loved one. It has to be somebody there in your life that you can call on in a time of depression, or in a time when you're hurt, because it's hard to do it on by yourself. Yeah, that's one of the things. That's one of the successes that helped me succeed in my real estate exam. Being able to tie all this into y'all boys. Yeah, again, into the kids. Because if I wouldn't have told y'all those first 2 times that I felt into, hey bro, I'll try something else, because I didn't have anybody to really, hey, you got it, continue to push forward. So we've had people in our tough situations through life that were able to push us to succeed. You know what I'm saying? So that's always,
man, you hit it right on where I was trying to go to, man. Depression is a real thing. So in those moments to where you feel as if you're in that state of depression, don't, like you're saying, don't be scared to reach out to people, man. The worst thing you can do is try to deal with it alone. I was there. I was going in my room, just looking at the walls, being that person that's not seeking. And I got roommates that I could just went in there and just simply holler at them. Hey, bro, I got this on my chest. Let me get it off. But we build this catalyst as men, especially as men, to we tough and we gonna deal with it ourselves. And that's not the best way to go about it. There's so much things that we can do, is find a hobby, find something outside that can take your mind away from that thing that is making you depressed. And it's this state of us, it was football. So finding that hobby, something I could do to take my mind away, if it's going to take a walk or whatever it's doing to get you off that, man, because that thing can be crucial in those moments. Because I think that was always hindering my play. Yeah. Because I got to wake up the next day and still go do it, go to that world. And this is my world. So it's like, you got to find a way to get up out of that, man. So if you're dealing with depression, please, man, reach out and get help for that. I also want to, but I thank God for those moments. I think now I do, being on this side of it, I thank God for those moments, because it helped me grow as a man. Those moments when I was up in Philly, I'm way in Philly. I know you was in Tennessee. Like you say, mama can't get in the car and just get. There's things that you have to deal with on your own. there was an experience I was going through in my tough times of college. I'll never forget it when my dad, man, I don't know if I shared it on a podcast, but I was going through some stuff with my coach, and I called my dad one day and I would let him know what's going on. I guess he could hear in my voice that I was going through it. And it's during this depression time that I was talking about. And man, my pops out in the blue, bro, like he just said, he called me. So I talked to him on the phone earlier that day. It's late on in the evening. And he just he called me. I said, "What's up, Pop?" He said, "Come outside." I said, "Come outside? What do you mean, come outside?" And I went outside. My daddy was outside. He way in Ocala. I'm in Philly. And he just popped up in Philly that day, bro. And in that moment, bro, I was like, wow. You know what I mean? That's the type of dad I have. And I needed that, bro. Like in that moment, I needed that. Like his presence being there for me in that moment, that was one of the greatest things that ever happened for me because, bro, I was going through it. You understand? So we need people during our times, man. You have to reach out and let people know what's going on. But my personal,
and not to, because he didn't just do it one time. He's done that numerous of times. I got in my, so a lot of people don't know. Now you know. 2018, I got hit by the drunk driver. I did not share that with like the picture's still on my phone, and I look back at it, over and over. But got hit by the drunk driver. I remember calling home. Mom she was going crazy. You okay? Their mom good. I was trying to do it again, trying to deal with it on my own. Next day, I remember I said I was gonna go. I went to the hospital that night. I wake up that next day, and I wake up because I hit the doorbell. Who's at my door? Yeah, go to the door. It pops. Just like that. You know what I'm saying? So again, just going back to having that person. You know what I'm saying? Having that person that's gonna be there because life get hard. Yeah. You got to have somebody to let you know that it's okay, and I got you, because if not, bro, dealing with it on your own can lead you down the wrong, not the wrong path, but a stressful path.
Yeah. And for you, so during those moments, like I say, it helped me grow, and it built a lot of character to me. There's a lot of things I built. I think the person I am today comes from those experiences, because I built the mindset that I would never allow somebody else to treat me like that. I would never put myself in a situation to where somebody would have that much power over me. And I will always have the do for self mentality, that I will be aware of what I need to do to get the things done. What do you think that experience at Tennessee Tech did for you? What kind of character development did that have for you?
The overall aspect, or with the injury?
Just overall experience at Tennessee Tech.
I feel like you say, it shows you a lot about yourself. With the drive that I have personally now, that developed year after year after year, because like you say, the accountability is only there so far. Like, you can get on the phone with your folks telling you doing good, but it's been times I'd be like, looking myself in the mirror like, bro, you're not really doing what you're supposed to. You're not working as hard as you're supposed to work. So being able to get off track just a little bit, but to steer yourself back straight and to get consistent and discipline yourself, I feel like I have that in me now, and that will carry me a long way because I developed that as becoming a man.
Yeah. So Tennessee Tech, one of the best. Oh, you can speak for yourself, the overall experience of it. But me looking at it, I know the things that you wanted to achieve, you didn't achieve it at the level that you would have liked to. So that experience is over, and we're gonna get to the transition. But if somebody from Tennessee Tech so happen to watch this podcast, you being the man Jyron Gilmore, what would you say to the people of Tennessee Tech, Cookeville, Tennessee? What message would you leave them with as you're departing from that university?
I feel like Tennessee Tech has a lot of great people, a lot of genuine people that I met at Tennessee Tech. But the situation overall with being a college program, there's not a lot that they can do for you money-wise. It's not a lot that they can help you out with. Some weight room, nutrition stuff, like the stuff that people can get at other schools, like true meal plan and stuff like that. Tennessee Tech don't have that for you.
Yeah.
They can't look out for you in that aspect.
Yeah. So what would you say to the people? What was your last word?
I appreciate you, but I got to move on to better myself.
I like it. All right. But as you don't know, you see the shirt he got on, Georgia State University. All right, so we get a round of applause for Georgia State. But now, man, so we headed to the A, all right? So the A about to be my second home. You can just call me Michael Vick at this point, all right? So you got new endeavors. Call me Michael Vick. But you want to know better things. So one thing I know about a transition, because I had that. I was able to leave Temple University for my 50 option to go to Western Illinois University. For me, it was considered a downgrade, though. I went from FBS to FCS, but I still had high hopes, man. I was so laser focused. I was so ready for that new breath of fresh air because I felt like I was in the chokehold at the situation that I was at. Like I literally was in the chokehold. There was nothing I really could do right. And it was that time. And I think for me, I think I stayed in that situation too long. But when I was I can remember, I could feel it. Like I drove from Philly over to the Midwest where I'm geeked up. And that mentality that you said, I had it. Like, I'm killing everything. I don't want no friends. I'm already gonna graduate. I'm a grown man. I'm 21, 22 at this time. And nothing else matter. I don't want to party. I don't have them days. I don't did all the nonsense. Let's play ball. As you're walking into this new university, you're going up to the next level. What are you feeling and how are you going to approach, walking on Georgia State campus?
I definitely feel like it's a step up closer to where I want to be because I definitely have aspirations of going pro. And the mindset that I'm taking with it is the same one that you have. Like, I'm grown now. I'm 21 years old. I done had the moments where I really don't know how to play the game. I feel like at Tennessee Tech, I really made myself the man. I developed myself to be the guy at Tennessee Tech, and that's what I'm looking to do at Georgia State.
Yeah. And so what do you say, be the man? What does that mean? What is being the man?
Being a man, be laughing, just saying, being a man of the people, you feel me? Really just creating great relationships outside of football, letting people know me, feel who I am, and letting people know I'm about business, but also when it comes to football, letting the coaches know I'm not playing like talk to coach, hey, this is what I'm here for, and actually standing on it. Like when I go there, I have no goal less than becoming a starter at the end of the spring and just going to handle my business. And by the end of it, I want people to be like, remember Jyron Gilmore, he made an impact on this program.
What emotions come with that? So what emotions come with leaving one team and going to the other? So for myself, I was leaving a whole bunch of my friends. Like I built a rapport with people for the last, like brothers, still my brothers, people that would be in my wedding. And that was a stronghold on me, like leaving them and having to go to another institution. So what emotions are come with you leaving Tennessee Tech to go to Georgia State?
Only thing I'm hurt about when it comes to leaving Tech is, like you say, leaving the boys. Like, I don't know how many times I told them, boy, like, bro, I love you, bro. I love you, bro. Like, it's just so repetitive. Like, every time we get off the phone, it mean that much more because I really grew up with them boys. I came into Tennessee Tech like 18 years old. Now I'm leaving Tennessee Tech. I'm 22 years old. That's a big 4 years of your life and like a lot of relationships that you're leaving behind, but I know that is for the best when it comes to the friends. And the transition to Georgia State, when I say becoming the man, it's like it's being anxious a little bit. Like you could think that you're gonna be the man, but you also have it like it might not be like that, you feel me? So that's some stuff that you have to deal with. I wouldn't say stressful, but more so anxious because you want everything to go perfect, but and life is always ups and downs with it, and you just got to be mentally prepared for all of them.
Yeah, and that's big. And just me being your big brother, I had this conversation with you. I shared to the public. I've been in that position, and I know what it feels like to be somebody that dealt with injuries during their college careers. Because I had a bad hamstring, a foot, and a bunch of stuff couple things that happened that hindered me in my career. So when I transitioned, I was able to get that fresh air. I'm in the same space that you in. It's feeling good. I'm going into this new university and I'm going to kill it. And I did that. I got there, during the fall football camp, killing it, man. I'm going off. It got to the point, and I shared a story. It's a funny story, but it's serious. Temple University had built me to be a man. Mental toughness was a big thing that they preached, and you showed that, you displayed that. Like, for example, even being hurt, it was like a crime to be hurt. Like, if you were hurt, they're going to punish you for being hurt. We had this thing called a pit. They'll put you in a pit. And you would rather be in practice than be in the pit. You get what I'm saying? So it's more so they would tell you if you hurt, you better off practicing. We can limit your reps, but you better off being on this field because you go over there, we're going to give it to you. So that was the thing. That's the mentality I came from. So it built me into like a warrior. I was so wrapped up in that mentality. I went to Western Illinois University, and I got to the point I had a bad hamstring. I'm playing. I'm starting running back, at camp, doing all this. It got to the point till I felt my hamstring like hurting. Because I told the story. Like I can feel my hamstring almost like detaching. But I had built the level of not stopping. Like, bro, instead of just sitting my behind down, I literally went until my hamstring popped. And I can feel it like pop. Like, oh man. So now I'm back in the same position that I was. So I shared the situation with him. Like, we all have dreams, aspirations to do things, but now it's time to go that way. So now I'm back in this situation. I'm in the Midwest at a school that I'm downgrade. Now I'm hurt again. So now I'm in the spot. So I always share with him, you got to be prepared for that. Obviously, we don't plan for that, but you got to be prepared for the worst because you never know what's going to happen. And in this situation, you can get in this situation, be the best situation, choice you ever made, and be the worst choice you ever made. But you have to be prepared to make the best out of that.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, you got to make the boat. Because at the end of the day, football ain't the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
You're intelligent, strong black young men. You could go the school route. You're in Atlanta, Georgia. You're in Atlanta opportunity. You're in the Black Hollywood. You can make so many connections, so many opportunities that you can meet through your academics. You know what I mean? Through being on campus, networking, being the man of the people, going out in the community, doing work. Like, you never know what can come into your aspect. And that's what we always tell him, man. Like, don't put yourself in a pigeonhole yourself. Put yourself in one little box, man. There's so many things we could do. And that's what I'm looking for most too. I obviously, I love the football stuff and I'm waiting on that. But I'm more so, waiting to see what you do outside the game of football as well, because the opportunities are there for you. And I even want to know, like right now, as you're going into it, what are some of those thoughts? Like when you think about even outside of the game of football, you're going to the city of Atlanta. All right. So you're going from Cookeville, Tennessee to Atlanta, Georgia. All right. Yeah. So take us on that journey. What's in your mind? So what are you planning to do with that jump?
Like you said, just being a young black man, I feel like it's easier to be more appreciated, and to what you bring to the table, it's more accepted in Atlanta because that's more of your culture there. That's what they're looking for. And what I want to do outside of football is networking. Like, I want to meet as many people as I can. I want them to know about me, what I have going on, what my plans are in life. And I want to be able to build a relationship to help me out later on in life.
Mm-hmm. And so obviously we say that. So when you say that, so it's this for everybody watching this. When I went to Tim University, I did not know there was a center called the Multicultural Center on most college campuses. When you play football, you got everything you need. You have your football facility that has everything you need. Yeah. You have your tutoring. Like, everything you do is separated from the campus. Yeah. And they do that intentionally because that's all they want you to focus on. I didn't know until I went to Western Illinois that there was a center called the Multicultural Center. The Multicultural Center. Within that center, every school is different, but most of them have like a black student center for black students, center for Latino students, and a women's center. And then you have different ones. You have to take yours out. That, if I would have knew that information, bro, and I was able to get tapped into that community, that would have been my when I say finding something to do outside of football, that would have been my like let go moment and the depressed moments. If I could have went to that center, being around more people outside of football, you get what I'm saying? So we don't have to talk about football. Yeah. We could talk about some other stuff that would have saved me. I encourage you to look for the multicultural centers. That's one of the biggest things you can do. Find out what student organizations they got around on campus and get more tapped into. Not say you have to join them, but you should know who they are. Find out who their presidents are so you can get tapped into those people, to just have a rapport with them. When it comes to what they got going on campus, you can just pop out sometimes and go. You don't have to go to all the football stuff. You can go to some stuff when they do different student organizations. They do all types of student activities during the week, and you can be able to tap in and get a relief, man. I'm telling you, our world are so wrapped around football, you need a break. You need a break from that. So you definitely got to look into that. And so going back to Georgia State, I kind of want to get to ask you the question of what made you go there. I think I skipped over there. So what made you make that final decision to go to Georgia State?
Being at Tennessee Tech, I was just in the middle of nowhere for 4 years. Like, it get repetitive just being your apartment, looking at them four walls. All you have to do is play the game. There's not many opportunities. I think when I called the coach at Ball State, he was like, just let me know what the reason is. What was the reason that you chose Georgia State over us? I just told him it's hard to out-recruit Atlanta, because at the end of the day, okay, if football don't work, I'm in Atlanta. There's so many opportunities that I have at my hands, and it's up to me to make the best of it. And that's the mindset that I'm taking with it.
Yeah. They again, I think it goes back to mentorship, basically. And it's not about, you only know what you know. And that's one of the biggest things. And I think from the family, we were able to teach you or show you a lot of things that most people that don't have big brothers at their disposal, don't have a dad at their disposal, they miss out on the information. You know what I'm saying? So through having older people or people that you can reach out to, that's one of the things that I feel will help help you make that decision.
Yeah, definitely.
Letting you know that, you have to be able to create the opportunity where you are. And even, everything that glitters is not gold. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Ball State could have been better as far as the facilities or whatever the case, NIL, whatever the case may be, but it's still the opportunity that you're going to have outside of that. I think a lot of young boys that they lack information as far as what it actually takes, what will encompass being a student athlete, going from high school to college. So along your journey, what is some of the things that help them out? For the ones that don't have cut difference, for the ones that don't have Mr. Eddie, Mr. Miles, Mr. Jamie to give them guidance, give them something to help them out along the way, like the things that they should look for, the things that they should, pay closer attention to in order to help make them make the right decisions as far as the colleges. Because a lot of us want to go to Miami.
Yeah.
A lot of us want to go to all these big schools, but you go to these big schools and it may not be the best thing for you. You have to be able to do the research to see, like, is this the best school for me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's not really the feel that you get from the school, because when people recruit you, they all gonna give you the same thing. We want you so bad. We need you. You're gonna be the guy in our program. It's really about at the end of the day, who wants you, but who really needs you. Like when I went on my visits, I'm asking, okay, what's the depth chart looking at? It ain't because I'm scared of nobody, but why would I go try to be the guy if this school already has a guy and he gonna be there for 3 more years? Like you say, it's politics. If that's already their guy, they gonna push him to be that guy. It's gonna be so much harder for me to beat that out. So when you're getting recruited, you have to look at the opportunities that the school has for you. How are you gonna help develop me? If football don't work, how are you gonna treat me? If I come into this program and I'm not what you think I'm gonna be athletically, how are you gonna treat me? What do you have to offer for me? So it's stuff like that you need to be asking the coaches. You also have to be realistic for yourself. What type of situation do you want to be living in? If you're in a situation like living in Cookeville for 4 years, are you going to trip out? Are you going to start straying away, doing stuff that you shouldn't be doing? Or are you going to stay grounded? Do you need a little bit of excitement to keep yourself, that relief that he was talking about? Do you need to be able to be relieved sometimes to stay focused for football? So that's the type of stuff you have to be looking at.
And so at the same time, so let's say they do go to Georgia. Georgia is like you said, land of opportunity, land of fun. You know what I'm saying? So if you know you're the type of student that can't handle, not having structure, not having somebody keep you grounded, then you don't need to go to Georgia. You need to go to Cookeville so you're away from everybody. So I think that's one of the things that the young men have to. Being a student athlete, a college athlete, bro, it helped me. Everybody on stage, it helped me see things from a different perspective. Like, what works for me? Yeah. What are my ticking balls that's going to stop me from being able to get to where I need to be? You know what I'm saying? You just have to build that. You have to mature. You have to build that mentality to know what fits me in order to be the best person that I can be at the end of the day.
And that kind of goes into the mindset. It's not about the short-term stuff. You have to be looking at it from a long-term aspect. When you get your degree, when you're done with everything that you wanted to do at this university, where do you see yourself? How can they help you be where you need to be in life? Because after college, you got to be a man. Mm-hmm. What they going to put into you to be the best man that you can be, it ain't about all the parties and stuff. You can always party. Mm-hmm. Be 40-year-olds in the club still. It be 40, 50-year-olds at the family homecoming, like, and all that's always going to be there. So you can't get wrapped up into that type of stuff. You feel me?
That's that big boy talk right there. So as we wrap it up, I want to touch on a couple things before we wrap up. The NIL is one. Eddie just mentioned the NIL. So you living in a different whole world than what we did. It was a whole thing when we were playing ball that, when players want to get paid for their name. I remember even when I was in college, we got a check one time. That's why they stopped making the NCAA game. Yeah. Because it was wrapped up in that thing. They had to pay us some money, and it probably wasn't what we should have got. But we got a little check for being a part of that game. You're a part of this NIL world. I want to see what's your view on the NIL, or how do you plan to take advantage of the NIL?
Like I said, I'm in Atlanta, and it's really about how you market yourself. I want to get in the city, get a feel for it, see what all, I guess you could say, businesses that need somebody to market them. And that's for me to say, hey, look, this is what I do, this is what I'm about. I'm a ball player, but I actually got good structure with me. I actually got a good head on my shoulders, letting people to be able to know who I am and build a relationship with people, but also say, okay, this is what I want, though. Mm-hmm. So how can you help me help you? That type of deal.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things too. So as you're becoming that, you have to know that you're a business, that you're a brand. So everything you do when it comes to socials, which I know you gotta strategically do it to position your position. So just exactly how you just said what you said, that should be on your in your Instagram. When everybody come to your page, they should know that you're a young athlete in Georgia State in Atlanta, and that you're looking for NIL deals.
Yeah.
And if you're looking for some athlete with the NIL deal, here is my number to get in contact with. Here's the email you need to hit up.
Yeah.
You understand? So you have to, opportunities just don't come to you.
Yeah.
And that's one time people think that opportunities are just gonna come just because you go to Georgia State, that somebody gonna come call you. Now you got to create your own opportunity. So, and that happens by putting yourself in that environment, or putting yourself in that light, putting yourself in front of people's faces. Yeah. So just like you say, when it comes to that networking and just being a person, a man of the people, and people start talking about you as well, that's going to help you to get those NIL deals. And being in Atlanta, there's no reason you shouldn't. You'll be able to land a couple of NIL deals. So you definitely have to work towards that. And we actually going to do something for what we need here today to actually help you see if you can stand up to the test and put something on your gram to get you some deals. But now that's big, man. So big brother, I'm super proud of you, bro. I always say it on you. It's been a privilege to watch you grow. Sometimes I got to the point where I had to shake my head because I'm like, dang, bro, like, how are you growing up so fast? And it just even now to hear you talk, sometimes it just always it's like mind-boggling. Like, dang, bro, this is a little dude that used to put on all my clothes and me mobbing the 50 Cent in the club and all that, man. So it's crazy. But you've done well, bro. Through your ups, through your downs, you done well. You've been able to be resilient. And it's funny. It's a lot of things he goes through that I know when to come in, I know when not to. Some things I just let him deal with it on himself because I understand how life works. You know, can't save him all the time, but I give advice and just let him make his own decisions. The same thing. I know Eddie does the same thing, but you always handle the situation well. So I'm looking forward to what Georgia State has to offer to you and how you take advantage of the situation in Atlanta for the next 2 years or how long you choose to stay there. But as we wrap up, I just want to talk about, and obviously football, you can get some goals and stuff for your football as well. But just your future goals and aspirations. You can cast your goals for when you athletics and outside of athletics as well for the future.
I'll hit academics first because that's important. I done been in school for 4 years and I'm in a position now where I'm transferring my credits and being set back. So it's like what I worked so hard for, to be able to go to another school, and they don't know that's something that I prioritize just because I'm a football player. But with that being said, I want to get my bachelor's degree, and after I get my bachelor's degree, I still want to get my master's degree. That's something I got to relate to the coaches. That's very important to me. Mm-hmm. When it comes to football, being an all-conference guy. Every year, that's my goal, being an all-conference guy. But before that, I want to be a starter. And before I want to be a starter, I want to make sure I discipline myself day in and day out to do the little things that it takes to become that. Because you can have those goals, but if you're not doing this stuff day to day, living that present moment, you'll never get it. So that's my goal for this year. Be more disciplined, reach my full potential every day. I feel like if I'm not doing little stuff to make myself better, you'll never get what you want because you're not progressing.
Love it, man. So this is a good episode, man. So young athletes, man, if you're watching this, or if you're a parent of a young athlete, you should put them in front of this episode and let them watch it, man. There was a lot of gems given. Being in that process or that state of being a student athlete, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be a lot of things that you have to deal with that you're going to have to overcome, and it's not going to be easy. But the people that stick out through it, they always come out on the right side. So for a person like myself, you may look at the football side of it and say I wasn't successful in football, but I got 2 master's degrees off football. I haven't paid a dime for any of my education, but I was able to leverage the game of football. It's all about leveraging yourself, leveraging your abilities to get what you need out of the game. So, man, it was a great episode. Y'all fellas got anything after wrapping up? Anything y'all want to share with y'all?
Create your opportunity, man. Don't waste the opportunity either. Create it, don't waste it.
Much so, brother mine. It seems like you're on a good path, so just keep that aspect, true, your direction. Just keep it. Never forget why you started out. And I know you got a good support system, so you got that going for that. A lot of people don't have, so take advantage of it. Get the most out of it.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah. And for myself, hey, like I always say, man, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment, all right? Like and subscribe, comment to this page. There's no reason for you to watch this and haven't liked already. Please like the content that you're watching today, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, all right? And also like our EL2A podcast on Facebook, EL2A podcast on Instagram as well. We need y'all, family. Please subscribe to us and support us, all right? We love y'all. But one thing I'm gonna do is pass it back to Jyron, so I want you to close it up. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna have you speak to our viewers. You can speak directly to young athletes, so you can just speak directly to the viewers as, you know, give them a word of encouragement or what they need. And let's do young athletes. I want you to speak directly to the young athletes that coming up, because we're supposed to touch on the youth, but it's all cool. Just speak to the young athlete that has the aspiration to wear a Georgia State t-shirt or whatever Division I college they want to go to, a college athletics program that they want to go to. Give them a message that'll inspire them to get to where they need to get to.
What I really can say, bro, just don't give up on your dreams. Never sell yourself short. Always push yourself to really maximize your potential, because all of us got it in us to do great things, whether it's a Georgia State, a Tennessee Tech, maybe it's a D2 school or West Florida. No matter what it is, don't sell yourself short, and don't be looking at the other man. Look at yourself in the mirror. Think about where you want to be. Don't try to compare yourself to anybody else.
Love it. All right, fam. We'll see y'all next time.